On my parents' anniversary they posted a photo album with captions like, "What we're proud of." I wasn't in a single frame. When I asked why, my dad said, "Because we don't celebrate disappointments." My mom added, "You never looked right in pictures, not your face, not your life." I said, "Got it, I'll remember this and I'm not letting it slide." Later, I did something that left them with nothing left to smile about. Now they're calling me every hour saying, "We didn't mean it, okay." So this is probably going to sound like I'm fishing for drama or whatever, but honestly, I don't know where else to put this. Like, I'm not about to text my group chat and be like, "Hey, guess what my parents did? Again." But whatever, so my parents had their 25th anniversary last weekend, which is already hilarious because they act like they invented marriage, but that's not even the point. I only noticed because my mom had been blasting the family chat for like a month about big plans and don't forget to RSVP, even though we all live within 20 minutes of each other, and it's not like anyone's got enough going on to forget. They went all out, full catering, balloons, the whole "aren't we so close" thing. My sister Layton brought her boyfriend. Dude's all right, but he's one of those people who tries too hard to call my dad sir. Finley was there, of course, the golden child, and Kathleen, the actual baby. She's 17 and has a TikTok for her dog, whatever. Anyway, the dinner's like fine. My dad makes a toast about family values and legacy, and everyone claps, and I'm just sitting there picking at my food, trying not to roll my eyes. I'm not even mad at this point, just over it. But then I notice something weird because after dinner my mom's got her phone out, doing the thing where she makes everyone stand in front of the stupid 25 years sign for pics. She's always doing this, she's obsessed with Facebook likes. I get up to help clean up and she's like, "Oh no, go stand with your siblings." So I do, and she takes a few, but then when she posts the album later that night, I'm not in any of them, like not even in the group shots, not even in the background. Even the one from dinner where we were all squished around the table, I'm cut off at the edge, like half my arm, and that's it. At first, I honestly thought I was just losing it, so I asked Layton if she saw the album and she just shrugs and goes, "Yeah, mom's been editing photos all week, why?" I'm like, cool, maybe she's just being extra. But then I go on Facebook and scroll through the album. It's got all these captions like, "What we're proud of," "Our greatest joys," "Family is forever," and it's like picture after picture. Just my parents, Finley, Kathleen, Layton and her boyfriend, my parents hugging Finley at his graduation, Kathleen with her dumb dog, Layton blowing out birthday candles. Not a single shot of me, not from this year, not from any year, nothing. I'm sitting there at like 1 o'clock in the morning just staring at the screen, and I start thinking, okay, maybe they just forgot, maybe my mom was in a rush, maybe I'm being dramatic. So I go into the kitchen the next morning, and my dad's already got his phone out, showing my aunt photos from the party. I ask, "Hey, why am I not in any of them?" He doesn't even look at me, just says, "Because we don't celebrate disappointments," like dead serious. Doesn't even blink. Leon is standing there and she just freezes. Kathleen looks away and acts like she's texting. My mom comes in and I'm like, "You really didn't put a single picture of me in the album." And she goes, "You never looked right in pictures, not your face, not your life," like she's talking about a bad haircut, not her actual son. I just laugh because what else am I supposed to do? I say, "Got it, I'll remember this," and go back to my room. I hear my dad say something under his breath, but I don't even care at this point. I slam my door and just sit there, scrolling through their stupid posts. For context, this isn't the first time. My parents have always been like this, honestly. Finley was the first kid, he's got the medals, the job, the whole "made us proud" thing. Layton's pretty and normal. Kathleen is the baby, she can do whatever she wants. I was always just not what they wanted. They wanted someone who cared about the same stuff as them, status, money, whatever, and I just never played along. I don't dress the way they want, I don't talk like them, I don't even like the same food. My mom's always said I was difficult, and my dad likes to remind me that Finley never gave us trouble. I haven't even done anything wild, I just don't kiss their ass. But I never thought they'd actually delete me from the family album like that. Honestly, after that, I didn't talk to anyone for the rest of the day. Leon came by my room, but she just stood in the doorway and said, "I'm sorry, I don't get why they act like this." But then she left before I could say anything. And I could hear her arguing with my mom about it later, but nothing changed. Kathleen didn't say a word to me, and Finley texted me later like, "You know how they are, man, just ignore it," which is easy for him since he's literally the top of the family leaderboard. I went downstairs that night to get some water, and my mom was sitting at the table, scrolling on her iPad. She didn't even look at me. I wanted to just yell at her or throw something, but I didn't. I just walked out. The next morning my dad asked me to mow the lawn, and I said, "Why don't you ask one of the kids you're proud of?" He stood up like he was about to say something, but I just walked past him and he actually grabbed my shoulder and tried to shove me back. I told him to get off me and he let go, but you could tell he was pissed. He slammed the door when he left. So yeah, that's where I'm at. It's not like this is some huge surprise, but seeing it in black and white, like actually deleted from the family record, is different. I'm not about to just let it go, not this time. I told them I'd remember and I meant it. They want to erase me? Fine, let's see how they like it when I start making some edits of my own. I'm not saying what I'm planning here, but trust me, I'm not just going to sit and take it. They want to act like I'm invisible? Cool, I can play that game better than they can. More soon if anyone cares. Update 1. So, update, I know I said I wasn't going to let it slide, and trust me, I'm not, but holy hell, it's like every day since the album thing, my parents are just going for the high score, and how much can we ignore Philip without admitting we're ignoring Philip? Like, you ever feel like you're a ghost in your own house? That's me, except I still have to take the trash out because apparently even disappointments can do chores, whatever. It started small. Like after the whole, you never looked right in pictures thing, I thought maybe they'd just cool off and pretend it never happened. That's usually their move. But nah, this time my mom went nuclear. She's got this family picture wall in the hallway, right? Used to be all of us. Old vacation pics, embarrassing school portraits, Leighton's braces, the whole cringe collection. I walk by on Monday and it's like suddenly my face is missing from half the frames. She literally swapped me out for more aesthetic shots of the dog. Not even a joke. Kathleen's dog has more wall space than me now. I tried to call her out, just straight up. So, guess your dog's the new middle child now? And she just says, at least she listens and doesn't embarrass us. Leighton was there and she just shook her head like she's tired of even getting involved. Finley of course says nothing, just keeps scrolling his phone like he's not hearing any of this. I swear if there was a medal for most silent in family drama, he'd win again. And then there's Dad. He's always been about the legacy and family name BS, but lately he's been taking it next level. He's got this spreadsheet. Not kidding, this man tracks family stuff on a spreadsheet. Who calls grandma, who gets the highest grades, who brings the best gifts to holidays. And he leaves it open on the kitchen laptop. One night, I glance at it and see my name in this faded gray next to inconsistent, unambitious, not presentable. I don't know if he meant for me to see it, but come on, you don't just leave stuff like that out unless you want it found. So now I'm sitting here trying to figure out if I'm actually losing it or if they're really just going for a clean sweep. Like my old soccer trophies, gone from the shelf. Found them in a box in the garage behind a bunch of Christmas lights. I asked Mom and she just said, you didn't want to play anymore, so we made room for people who actually finish things. I literally quit when I was 13 because my dad spent every game yelling at the ref, but whatever. I started pushing back just to see how far they'd go. Like I stopped coming down for dinner and no one said a word. I left my laundry in the hall for 3 days, still nothing. I even unplugged the router once. Petty, I know. Just to see if anyone would ask me for help since I'm the only one who knows how to reset it. Nope, they just called the neighbor's kid. I could hear my dad in the next room talking about kids these days, and some people just don't want to contribute. The only person who ever says anything is Leighton, and even then she's careful, like she doesn't want to get on their bad side. She came up to my room one night, just sat on my bed and said, I don't get why they're like this, but you know how it is. Mom wants everything to look perfect for Facebook, and Dad only cares if he can brag about you at the country club. She said she tried to talk to them, but Mom just told her to mind her own business, and Dad said, I needed to grow up and act like family, whatever that means. Kathleen's just in her own world, always on her phone, barely makes eye contact anymore. She's got her own thing going on, I guess, but still she could at least say something though. I get it, she's 17. She just wants to get through high school without getting dragged into this mess. So yeah, I've been thinking a lot about why they're like this. It's not just the picture thing, it's everything. It's always been this way. Finley's the golden boy, he gets away with everything because he looks and acts exactly like my dad did at his age, at least according to the family stories. Leighton's the sociable one. Brings home decent grades, has a boyfriend my parents actually like, knows how to play the game. Kathleen's the baby, still cute enough for Mom's Instagram, hasn't pissed anyone off yet. Me. I'm the odd one out. I don't wear polos, I don't care about their dumb drama, I don't play along, and I don't pretend to like people I can't stand. I'm not doing drugs or failing out or anything, I'm just not into their fake legacy stuff. I'd rather be honest and alone than fake and included. They hate that. Anyway, I got tired of waiting for them to just admit it, so I started making myself even more visible. Not in a good way probably, but I don't care. Like, I made sure to leave my stuff around the house. Old hoodies, my headphones, just random crap. I started using the family Netflix profile and adding the weirdest shows to continue watching, just to mess with Mom's recommendations. She changed the password, obviously, but I just made a new profile and called it Disappointment. She deleted it after a day and didn't say a word. The real kicker was when I heard Dad on the phone with my uncle talking about how, not every kid turns out the way you want, but you have to focus on the ones who make you proud. Like I'm not even there. I walked in and he just stared at me, didn't even pause the call, just kept talking. So I grabbed a glass of water and walked out. He slammed the door behind me. I guess what really got me was when I realized they weren't just trying to erase me from the family album, they were trying to erase me from everything. Like, if they pretend hard enough, maybe I'll just disappear, and they won't have to deal with the fact that I'm not what they wanted. Whatever, if that's how they want to play it, fine. I can play too. So here's what I did. I stopped doing anything for them. No more chores, no more fixing their tech, no more helping with the dog when Kathleen's busy. I started keeping notes of every little thing they needed me for just so I could throw it back at them. When Mom asked me to help her reset her phone, I just said, ask one of your favorite kids. When Dad told me to take out the trash, I told him to do it himself. He tried to shove me out of the way, so I shoved him back. He slapped my arm and I just stared at him. Leighton came running in, yelling at him to stop. He left and slammed the garage door so hard the lights flickered. Now it's just this standoff. Everyone's tense. No one talks unless they have to. I can feel them trying to wait me out, but I'm not backing down. They want to erase me? Let's see how they handle it when the disappointment starts making things actually difficult for them. I know how much they rely on me for all the little stuff, the stuff they don't even notice until it's gone. I'm not just going to fade out and make it easy for them. Nah, if they want me gone, they're going to have to work for it. I've got a plan, and trust me, it's not just about walking away. Next part's where it gets interesting. Update 2. Alright, so it's been like a week since I posted, and honestly there's been a bunch of you asking what I'm actually going to do, and I get it, 'cause NGL, I'd be curious too. I've tried to keep chill, like I still have to live here for now. I'm not about to just yeet myself onto the street just for the drama, but I wasn't kidding when I said I'm not letting it slide. If my parents want to erase me, I'll show them what it's like when I'm actually gone from their lives. And not just in the I don't show up in your Facebook album way. Nah, I'm talking real-life inconvenience, real-life embarrassment, real-life loss. It started with this dumb little thing. My mom's been complaining for months about how the family rental is barely making money. She keeps calling it an investment property, like she's on some reality show. Honestly, it's just this old house they've had since I was a kid. They Airbnb it, they brag about it to everyone, but the truth is they have no idea how the tech side works. I do. I set up all the online accounts, security cameras, the code lock, the Wi-Fi, the payment stuff, all of it. It's the only thing they ever actually trusted me with, but only because they couldn't figure it out themselves. They act like I'm not smart enough for anything else, but then they dump every technical problem on me and pretend it's just easy stuff. So here's the thing. They never bothered to change the passwords after I set them up. I'm basically the admin for everything. So after the album incident, after my dad shoved me and my mom started swapping my pictures for pictures of the dog, I just thought, okay, let's see what happens if the disappointment stops being useful. I didn't do anything illegal, nothing wild, just stopped helping. I paused the Airbnb calendar for maintenance, disabled auto payment, changed the code on the lock, and put the listing on hold. I didn't delete anything, I didn't wreck anything, just pressed pause. Mom texts me like, do you know why the house isn't getting booked this month? I just said, maybe you should ask Finley, he's the one you're proud of. She left me on read. 2 days later, my dad stomping around the kitchen, swearing about stupid websites and lost income. I heard him on the phone with my uncle saying how tech support is useless these days, hilarious considering I'm literally upstairs. He even tried to ask Kathleen to fix it, but she couldn't even reset her own TikTok password, so that went nowhere. Leighton came into my room and just sat on my bed, didn't say much, just scrolled her phone and said, you know they're losing like $1,000 a week, right? I just shrugged. She laughed and said, honestly, they kind of deserve it. She's the only one who's actually noticed how bad it is, but she's also not about to get between me and them, can't blame her, tbh. Meanwhile, I started telling a couple of my cousins what went down. Nothing dramatic, just facts. Yeah, did you see the album? I'm not in it. Apparently, I'm a disappointment. One of them said, wait, for real? And then showed me a screenshot of the album, and yeah, it's just the 3 of them plus Leighton and Kathleen. My cousin Amanda was pissed. She told her mom, and now my aunt's texting my mom, asking if everything's okay with the family because apparently, it's weird that I'm not in any family photos anymore. Mom tried to play it off like, oh, Philip just doesn't like pictures. But my aunt's not stupid. I got a text from her saying, if you need a place to crash, let me know. I'm not moving out yet, but it's nice to know someone's in my corner. But back to the rental. My parents are losing it. Dad's checking the online account every day, still can't log in. He started calling the rental company, but since the account is in my name, yeah, that's the only way it actually worked because their credit is a mess from some old loan drama years ago. They won't even talk to him. He actually tried to yell at me in front of Leighton, "You need to fix this right now, you're costing this family money." I just stood there and said, "I thought you didn't celebrate disappointment." He tried to get in my face but I just walked out. He slammed the fridge door so hard a magnet fell off. That night I got a text from Kathleen, just a single line, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine, don't worry about it." She sent a thumbs up and that was that. She's not going to pick sides, but even she knows it's gone too far. The next morning, Mom tried to make peace by inviting me to breakfast, acting like nothing happened. She made pancakes, which she only does when she wants something. I just took coffee and left. She followed me out to the driveway and said, "You need to be more mature about this, Philip." I said, "Tell Dad to stop calling me a disappointment and maybe I'll think about it." She slapped my shoulder, not super hard but enough to let me know she was mad. Then she told me to stop embarrassing the family. I laughed and said, "Not my problem anymore." So now they're having to explain to everyone why the rental isn't up, why they're suddenly downsizing, which is just code for, we can't afford the new kitchen remodel they've been bragging about for a year. My dad tried to guilt trip me again, saying I was letting the family down. I just told him, "You can't erase me from the family if you still need me to pay your bills." He shoved me and I shoved him back. Leighton tried to pull us apart, but I just left the house and went for a walk. I'm not proud of every move, but I'm not sorry either. For once, they have to live with the consequences of treating someone like a prop in their little family show. I'm not breaking any laws, I'm just not letting them use me when it's convenient and trash me when it's not. They want to pretend I don't exist? Cool, let's see how much they like it when I actually disappear from the parts of their lives that matter. Not just the pictures, the money, the convenience, the stuff they only notice when it's gone. And yeah, now I'm getting texts from Dad like every day acting like he wants to talk, but I'm not answering. I can tell they're starting to panic because for the first time they can't just sweep it under the rug or blame me in private. People are asking questions, stuff isn't getting done, money isn't coming in, and it's all because of the disappointment they tried to erase. TBH, it feels like I'm finally making a dent and I'm not done yet. Final update, so, I think the funniest part of this whole mess is how fast my parents switched up once the money started actually drying up. Like, it's wild, you can be invisible in your own house for years, but the second there's a real consequence, suddenly you're the most important person alive. It kicked off for real last Friday. I was out late, crashed at my cousin Amanda's, and when I get back in the next morning my phone's got like 15 missed calls, all from my parents, weirdly staggered like they were taking shifts. Texts too like, "Call me now, we need to talk, this is serious." I ignored them, honestly I wasn't in the mood. I went into the kitchen and Dad's already there pacing trying to act normal, but you can just tell he's barely holding it together. He starts with the family needs you routine. I just look at him and go, "Didn't you say disappointments don't get included?" He tries to laugh it off like it was just a joke, but it's that fake laugh he does when he knows he messed up and wants to pretend he didn't. Mom comes in and she's got her everything's fine face on. She says, "You're being immature, Philip, don't ruin this for everyone." I said, "You already did, not my problem anymore." She tries to grab my arm, I pull away. She slaps my hand, I just keep walking. About an hour later I'm in my room and I hear them fighting downstairs. Like real fighting, not their usual passive-aggressive stuff. Dad's yelling about how he's doing this on purpose. Mom's saying, "You started it, not me." Leighton's trying to get them both to chill out and Dad just snaps back at her. She slams her door so hard the wall shakes. Then comes the full-on guilt campaign. They start texting my siblings, my cousins, even my aunt, trying to get someone to talk sense into me. Leon texts me, says, "Mom's acting like you're holding the family hostage." I just send her the shrug emoji. Honestly, I think she's kind of impressed, but she's too smart to say that out loud. By Sunday it's gotten messy. Mom's crying in the kitchen, Dad's sulking in the garage, Kathleen's just hiding in her room. They tried to have this family meeting without me, but I could hear everything through the vent. Dad's going on about image and reputation. Mom keeps saying she never thought it would go this far. Leighton tells them they did this to themselves. No one disagrees. So here's what really got them. The rental payments still aren't coming in and the bills are piling up. They can't cover the mortgage on just Dad's paycheck. They call the rental company again, get nowhere. Mom tries to log in using the password she thinks she remembers. It's not even close. Dad actually comes up and knocks on my door, says, "Philip, I'm asking you please just help us out this one time." I go, You still think you can erase someone and then expect them to fix your problems? He gets mad, shoves the door, I shove it back. He just stands there breathing heavy and then walks off. The next day they start getting calls from the bank. I know because mom's on speakerphone with them, trying to explain why payments are late. She blames it on technical issues, but the woman on the phone just keeps repeating, maybe you should get your son to help you. I almost laughed. So now the story's out. My aunt's asking questions. Cousins are talking and the family chat is basically on fire. Leon posts a pic on her Insta story with me in it, captioned, "The real ones." Mom texts her, "Take it down." She doesn't. My parents are officially out of the fake, everything's perfect game. Their friends are starting to ask why the rental's off the market, why they're not going on vacation this year. Dad's making up stories but no one's buying it. Leon told me some of their friends from their church group are gossiping about family troubles. I'm not even mad, honestly I think it's deserved. And the calls, non-stop, like not even exaggerating, every hour. Dad tries to leave voicemails about forgiveness and let's move on. Mom texts me, "Please, we didn't mean it, you know we love you." I don't answer. I'm out with friends or gaming or at Amanda's or just walking. I left the house for 2 days and came back to a note on my bed, "We're sorry, please come downstairs." I just tossed it in the trash. Leighton's the only one who gets it. She said, "You don't owe them anything, not after all this." Even Kathleen started talking to me again like just normal stuff, but it's better than nothing. Dad tried to get Leighton to convince me to be reasonable. She told him, "You should have thought about that before you trashed him in front of everyone." He slammed the fridge. There's no big healing moment here, they did what they did, I'm not going to fix it for them. I changed the rental settings so everything's locked up until the end of the year. If they want it sorted, they can figure it out themselves or swallow their pride and admit to the family why they need me. I'm not playing tech support for people who treat me like a mistake. I know they're hurting, but that's not my problem. And people keep asking if I'll ever forgive them. Honestly, right now, I'm just glad they finally got a taste of what it's like to be erased. Maybe next time, they'll think twice before trying to cut someone out of their own family. So yeah, I told them I'd remember. Now they're the ones with nothing left to smile about. I guess I finally look right being out of their picture.